The lottery secret that no one tells is not hidden in numbers, tickets, or chance, but in the unseen realm where thoughts shape substance and beliefs carve the contour of one's destiny. Many search outward for luck, yet the true key is an inner alignment that precedes every stroke of fortune. Before a single coin can shift in your favor, the mind must shift first, for nothing enters a life unless it is welcomed on the invisible plane of expectation. This is the unspoken law that operates beneath every gain, every opportunity, every seeming miracle. Where most people grip their tickets with trembling hope, the real winners hold a quiet certainty. They do not beg life to choose them. They assume their good is already on its way. The secret no one tells is that abundance never arrives through fear. It is summoned by conviction, an unwavering knowing that the universe answers with precision to the tone of one's thoughts. When people stand in doubt, they block their own harvest. When they stand in faith, they magnetize the very experiences they desire. True winning is not about outsmarting probability. It is about aligning with the energy of possibility. When you speak words of assurance, when you imagine success as though it were already accomplished, when you refuse to entertain defeat, you are placing your order with the unseen forces that orchestrate life's outcomes. Those who understand this inner science never chase wealth, they attract it. They do not ask the universe to prove itself. They prove their belief in the universe by speaking victory long before the evidence appears. They cultivate a consciousness that knows everything they seek is seeking them with equal intensity. This clarity creates a magnetic pull that reorganizes circumstances, nudges events into motion, and opens pathways that others overlook. What seems like luck is often the flowering of sustained inner alignment. The unspoken truth is that the lottery is not a test of chance, it is an amplifier of belief. Some call it fate, others call it destiny, but its real name is resonance. You win at the level you expect to win. You receive according to what you are willing to claim. Life mirrors your dominant thoughts, returning to you the essence of what you continually affirm. And so the real preparation is not studying odds, it is studying your own mind. Are your words drenched in fear or charged with power? Do you nurture the seed of abundance or water the weeds of limitation? The secret is that every person already holds the winning ticket within. It is the ticket of imagination, the ticket of bold affirmation, the ticket of unwavering belief. When you speak your good into existence, when you act as though your prosperity is already assured, you shift from hoping for luck to embodying certainty. And in that moment, the unseen forces of the universe begin arranging themselves to meet you exactly where your faith stands. True luck, as most people perceive it, is an external force, a fleeting chance that comes unbidden or disappears just as quickly. Many wander through life believing that fortune is a matter of circumstances, a roll of the dice, or a combination of numbers that somehow favor them. They chase opportunity in the outside world, hoping that a random encounter, an unexpected windfall, or a stroke of coincidence will bring them into alignment with success. Yet this is a misunderstanding of the divine order. For luck is never something granted from the outside. It is a reflection of the internal state. The universe responds to the resonance of one's consciousness. What appears as luck in one person's life and misfortune in another's is simply the manifestation of invisible forces aligning with the individual's mental and emotional condition. No ticket, no lottery number, no formula, no plan can replace the inner harmony that prepares a person to receive the blessings they desire. Without this alignment, chance remains a hollow hope, a wish unfulfilled, a longing that echoes in the empty corridors of the mind. When the mind is discordant, scattered, or doubtful, it emits vibrations that repel fortune rather than attract it. People spend endless hours calculating odds, memorizing patterns, and seeking secrets in the world of probabilities. Yet all the while, they remain misaligned internally. A person may think, "I am unlucky," and immediately this thought becomes a declaration of self-limitation. The universe, which does not argue with belief but mirrors it, arranges circumstances to prove that the individual is indeed unlucky. In contrast, when the mind is attuned to the inner rhythm of abundance, every step, every moment, every encounter begins to echo with opportunity. Alignment is the key that opens doors without effort, without struggle. and without reliance on fortuitous circumstances, inner alignment is cultivated by harmony between thought, feeling, and spoken word. One cannot speak of being fortunate while dwelling in fear, worry, or anxiety. One cannot imagine luck while simultaneously believing that life is a battlefield of scarcity. True alignment requires a quiet certainty, a conscious decision to dwell in the state of fulfillment rather than lack. This is not mere positive thinking, nor is it blind optimism. It is a knowing that the unseen law of life operates with perfect precision, and that your inner state sets the stage for all visible outcomes. It is the understanding that every event, every opportunity, every manifestation is a mirror reflecting the predominant consciousness within. When you harmonize with that consciousness, you do not chase luck. You become the magnetic point that calls fortune toward you effortlessly. Consider the nature of thought as energy. Thoughts are not empty. They are powerful currents that shape the unseen world before material forms appear. Every fleeting doubt, every hesitation, every whisper of "I cannot" or "I am unlucky" leaves an imprint in the ether. These imprints accumulate, forming a mental climate in which the seeds of opportunity cannot take root. Conversely, thoughts of confidence, faith, and expectation create an invisible environment that nurtures the growth of desired outcomes. Inner alignment is the conscious cultivation of this mental climate, a deliberate tuning of one's mind to the frequency of abundance. Once this frequency is established, luck is no longer a matter of chance. It is a natural byproduct of harmony between the conscious mind and the invisible forces that govern manifestation. The feeling of luck is always preceded by a state of mental and emotional receptivity. Many people mistake the outward signs of opportunity as luck, when in reality, they are the reflections of prior alignment. A person receives a promotion, a financial windfall, or a fortuitous encounter, and attributes it to random chance, unaware that their inner state had long been orchestrating the conditions for this manifestation. Luck is the reward of alignment, not the gift of chance. It is the natural consequence of being attuned to the rhythm of life, where every step is guided, every decision illuminated, and every desire quietly fulfilled in its proper season. The mind, when steady, confident, and in harmony with divine principles, becomes a beacon that attracts events, circumstances, and people into perfect synchronization with one's intentions. Alignment also requires the release of attachment to specific outcomes. The person who seeks luck frantically, who fears that it will not arrive, or who clings to exact expectations, creates resistance. The universe does not respond to desperation, only to faith. By cultivating inner alignment, one achieves a state of inner peace that allows life to flow freely, removing obstacles that the mind itself might have erected. This alignment is not passive. It is an active, conscious partnership with unseen laws, an understanding that the mind shapes reality, and a recognition that fortune favors those who are already in resonance with it. Every thought, word, and feeling becomes a tool for manifestation, and every moment spent in alignment strengthens the magnetic pull of luck in its truest sense. When a person understands that luck is an inside job, a shift occurs. There is no longer a reliance on random events, no longer a dependence on outside validation or temporary circumstances. The focus moves inward, where true power resides. One begins to act with assurance, speak with authority, and think with precision, knowing that alignment is the invisible currency that purchases the experiences one desires. The outer world becomes a reflection, a mirror, a confirmation of the inner state. Every opportunity appears at the right time, every door opens effortlessly, and the individual experiences the quiet yet profound power of being in harmony with the creative intelligence that governs life. In this state, luck ceases to be a matter of hope or chance. It is the inevitable manifestation of a mind, heart, and spirit working in concert with the unseen laws. Every event, every encounter, every stroke of fortune is a confirmation of alignment. The outer circumstances shift to meet the inner condition, and life becomes an elegant dance of synchronicity and grace. The one who understands this truth no longer waits for luck to appear, for they embody it, They do not search for chance, for they have become a living magnet for all that is good, abundant, and harmonious. Belief is not a casual thought, a fleeting notion, or a vague hope. It is the invisible architect of reality. It is the inner compass that draws circumstances, people, and events into precise alignment with one's desires. Expectation is its companion, the steady pulse that communicates to the universe what one already assumes as true. Together, belief and expectation form the magnetic law by which wealth, success, and opportunities are drawn into a person's life. Those who are unaware of this principle live in a state of hoping, wishing, and grasping, constantly searching outside themselves for validation of what they long to receive. Yet the reality is that the world responds not to wishes but to the certainty of the mind. The individual who genuinely believes that abundance is already theirs sends out a signal so potent that circumstances cannot help but conform to it, arranging themselves as if the universe itself is conspiring to fulfill the vision already formed within. The mind does not distinguish between what is imagined and what is experienced. A belief held consistently, vividly, and with unwavering conviction becomes a reality in the unseen realm, where time and space are fluid, and all possibilities exist simultaneously. Expectation is the bridge between this unseen world and the material plane, the force that transforms potential into form. When a person expects success, expects prosperity, expects the perfect opportunity, the universe begins to orchestrate events in accordance with that expectation. It is not magic in the mystical sense, but law in the natural sense. Just as a gardener plants seeds, waters them consistently, and anticipates growth, so too does the person who believes and expects cultivate an environment where wealth and opportunity flourish. The act of expecting is not passive. It is a deliberate, conscious alignment with the flow of life, a daily affirmation of trust in the unseen laws that govern reality. One of the most common errors people make is allowing doubt to mingle with belief. When a person says, "I believe, but I am not sure," they dilute the magnetic force of expectation. The universe does not work on half-hearted intentions. It mirrors the strongest vibration present in consciousness. If doubt dominates even slightly, the law of attraction responds to that doubt, creating delays, obstacles, and frustrations. On the other hand, when belief is absolute and expectation unwavering, the world responds with immediate and harmonious adjustment. The confident mind, the mind that acts as though the desired good has already been received, projects a frequency that reorganizes circumstances to match that inner certainty. Every opportunity that arises, every person encountered, every chance meeting becomes a vehicle for the fulfillment of the vision held within. Belief and expectation are not limited to wealth alone. They operate in every area of life. They govern health, relationships, creativity, and every form of expression. However, when applied consciously to financial abundance or opportunities, their effect is often the most immediately noticeable because these forms of prosperity are highly tangible. The person who truly believes in abundance does not chase money, does not scramble for opportunity, nor does he fret over lack. Instead, he carries a quiet assurance that wealth, in whatever form is appropriate, is constantly moving toward him. This assurance is the secret that no one teaches directly. Society emphasizes hard work, luck, and planning, yet neglects the inner foundation that magnetizes the outer results. Without belief and expectation, all effort may be misdirected, all plans may encounter resistance, and all actions may fail to yield the desired fruit. With them, even the simplest steps are amplified, accelerated, and multiplied, for the universe moves to fulfill the inner conviction. Expectation, when combined with visualization, becomes even more powerful. To see in the mind's eye the object of desire, to feel it as though it already exists, and to speak and act from that inner certainty, establishes a continuous current of attraction. This current does not diminish over time, it grows stronger with persistence and faith. The law is impartial and exact. Whatever is consistently held in mind, emotionally embraced, and verbally affirmed, must manifest. Wealth, opportunities, and resources are simply forms of energy that respond to the frequency of belief. Those who are unaware of this often attribute success to external effort or chance, while those who understand it recognize that every financial increase, every advancement, every breakthrough is a response to the vibrational signals sent by sustained, unshakable expectation. Many struggle because they confuse desire with belief. To desire something is to hope it might happen. To believe is to know that it will happen. Expectation bridges this gap, transforming hope into reality. It is the consistent, unwavering assumption that what is sought already exists, and that life is only waiting to deliver it. This assumption is not arrogant or forceful. It is harmonious, gentle, and persistent. It creates an inner environment in which circumstances naturally align. A person who believes and expects does not plead for opportunity. Opportunity is drawn almost effortlessly into their experience. Doors open, connections form, and circumstances rearrange themselves as though in obedience to the inner decree. Belief also dispels fear, which is the opposite frequency to expectation. Fear scatters energy, disrupts focus, and weakens the magnetic pull of opportunity. The person who doubts or anticipates lack is unconsciously signaling limitation to the universe. In contrast, the person who consistently holds belief and expectation radiates confidence, stability, and certainty. This resonance is irresistible to the creative intelligence of life. Wealth is drawn to confidence. Opportunity is drawn to certainty. Success is drawn to the one who knows that what they seek already exists in the invisible and is simply moving into manifestation. Words play a crucial role in reinforcing belief and expectation. Every word spoken is an affirmation, whether conscious or unconscious. Those who speak doubt, limitation, or fear weaken the magnetic law within themselves. Those who speak affirmation, abundance, and certainty strengthen it. To declare, "I am open to wealth and opportunity in perfect ways," or "every day I am guided to the right situations that expand my prosperity," is to verbally echo the inner conviction, amplifying the magnetic effect. The mind and the spoken word work together, forming a continuous current that calls forth experiences, people, and resources aligned with the inner vision. It is also important to recognize that belief and expectation do not operate on the timetable of the human mind. The universe may orchestrate events in ways that appear delayed or unexpected, yet they are always in perfect order. The individual who trusts in the unseen law remains patient, steady, and unshakable, knowing that every opportunity, every resource, every form of wealth is moving toward them according to divine timing. There is no need to force, to struggle, or to worry. The inner conviction acts as a magnet, drawing the unseen into the seen, the potential into the actual, with a certainty that is as natural as the rising of the sun. Fear is the silent thief that robs many of the blessings already prepared for them. It is subtle, insidious, and persistent, appearing as doubt, hesitation, or the constant anticipation of failure. While most people seek wealth, opportunity, and success, they unknowingly build walls around themselves with fear, walls that are invisible yet impenetrable. Fear is the signal of inner misalignment, a vibration that repels rather than attracts. It is not merely a fleeting emotion, it is a force, and like all forces, it acts according to its own laws. When the mind dwells in fear, the universe responds with corresponding circumstances, mirroring the inner state, and presenting experiences that reinforce limitation. Many wonder why abundance evades them despite effort and desire, yet the answer lies not in the external world, but in the internal atmosphere. Fear is always the barrier, conviction the key. Unwavering conviction, on the other hand, is the magnet of abundance. It is a deep, settled assurance that what is sought is already on its way, and that circumstances will unfold perfectly in alignment with divine order. Conviction does not waver with appearances. It is unaffected by temporary lack, setbacks, or the seeming impossibility of the situation. It is a quiet, steadfast knowing that the invisible laws of life respond precisely to the energy of belief. Those who practice this conviction live in a state of expectancy, not desperate grasping, but calm assurance. They speak, think, and act from a place of certainty, and in doing so, they establish a magnetic field that draws the very circumstances and resources needed to manifest their desires. The law of life does not argue with doubt, but mirrors it, showing the fearful individual experiences that confirm their own inner disbelief. Conversely, unwavering conviction commands the forces of the universe to conspire on one's behalf, orchestrating events with seemingly miraculous precision. Fear often masquerades as caution or prudence, making it especially difficult to recognize. The mind tells itself, "I am only being realistic," or "I must prepare for failure." Yet these are subtle expressions of fear. Each thought of limitation, each hesitation born from worry, creates an energy that blocks the natural flow of abundance. It is as though one stands at the threshold of opportunity, yet the doors remain closed because the vibration of fear reverberates louder than the call of faith. The person who understands the inner law recognizes that the first step toward prosperity is not the external act, but the inner alignment. Fear must be replaced with conviction, hesitation with assurance, and doubt with trust. The moment the inner state shifts, the outer world follows, reorganizing itself to reflect the power and certainty emanating from within. Conviction is strengthened by imagination, affirmation, and visualization. The mind is a creative force that shapes reality according to the images it holds. By dwelling upon fear, imagining failure, or anticipating lack, one inadvertently calls into form exactly those experiences. By contrast, the mind that envisions abundance, success, and opportunity in vivid, concrete terms establishes a template in the invisible realm for the universe to manifest. These mental images are not idle fantasies. They are instructions to the creative intelligence of life, guiding it to align circumstances, people, and resources in perfect synchrony. Conviction amplifies this process, transforming thought into reality with an efficiency that fear cannot overcome. The one who is unwavering in belief acts, speaks, and responds as though the desired good is already present, reinforcing the magnetic effect of expectation. Words, as extensions of thought, also play a critical role. Every expression of fear, every statement of limitation, reinforces the blocking energy, while words of conviction strengthen and expand it. To declare, "I am open to infinite abundance," or "I know that every step I take is guided and supported by the perfect forces," is to verbally broadcast the inner certainty, creating a current that attracts corresponding circumstances. The power of the spoken word is multiplied when combined with unwavering feeling and imagination, producing an energy so compelling that the universe aligns effortlessly with it. Fear, in contrast, disperses energy, scatters focus, and undermines the natural flow of prosperity. It is the unseen enemy that prevents what is already rightfully one's own from manifesting. Another essential aspect is understanding that conviction does not demand immediate results. Fear seeks instant confirmation, impatience, and proof, creating tension when the desired outcomes are not visible. Conviction, however, trusts the timing of the universe, knowing that the unseen laws operate with perfect intelligence. The person who cultivates unwavering belief is patient, steady, and consistent, never shaken by temporary appearances. They recognize that abundance and opportunity are already in motion, even if the evidence is not yet visible. This patience is not passive waiting, it is active alignment, a continuous cultivation of inner harmony and assurance, reinforcing the magnetic field that attracts the desired good. Many people fail because they attempt to cultivate abundance while simultaneously entertaining fear. They think positively for a moment, only to return to worry, doubt, or anxiety. The inner law does not work on half-hearted intentions, it responds to the predominant energy. To create true abundance, fear must be entirely replaced with certainty and doubt with expectation. The mind must dwell persistently in the state of having, knowing, and trusting. Once this inner environment is established, circumstances will inevitably respond. Opportunities appear that were previously invisible, resources emerge that were unrecognized, and events unfold with effortless precision. The outer world becomes a mirror of the inner state, reflecting the conviction and magnetic assurance held within. Conviction also enables the individual to recognize opportunities that might otherwise pass unnoticed. Fear clouds judgment, narrows vision, and diminishes perception. It is as though one walks through life wearing blinders, unable to see the gifts presented by circumstance. Unwavering belief, however, sharpens awareness, heightens intuition, and expands the ability to perceive favorable alignments. Every person met, every event encountered, every decision made is filtered through the lens of certainty, allowing the individual to act decisively and confidently in ways that attract and secure prosperity. This clarity is the result of inner alignment, the elimination of fear, and the cultivation of trust in the unseen laws that govern life. The practice of daily affirmation is a powerful tool for reinforcing conviction. Repeatedly declaring one's abundance, security, and success conditions the mind to dwell in a state of certainty, gradually replacing fear with faith. Affirmations such as "I am worthy of all the wealth, joy, and opportunity that life offers," or "I trust the universe to provide all that I need at the perfect time," are not empty words. They are statements of law, instructions to the creative intelligence that governs reality. Each repetition strengthens the magnetic field, dissolving fear and reinforcing the vibration that attracts abundance naturally and effortlessly. To embody conviction fully, one must also cultivate gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful counterbalance to fear because it acknowledges the good already present, reinforcing the inner sense of sufficiency and trust. When fear diminishes, conviction expands. When conviction expands, abundance flows. The two are inextricably linked. Fear is contraction, conviction is expansion. Fear closes doors, while conviction opens them. Fear isolates, while conviction attracts. Fear doubts, while conviction knows. To dwell consistently in unwavering belief is to become a living magnet for all that is desired, allowing opportunities, resources, and wealth to flow freely, effortlessly, and in perfect harmony with life's natural laws. Life does not happen to us as a series of random events, nor is it dictated solely by circumstance or external forces. It is a living mirror that reflects the nature of our dominant thoughts, and every experience we encounter is a response to the inner climate we cultivate within ourselves. The mind is the creative power in action, and imagination is the blueprint by which reality is constructed. Words are the instruments that give expression to this blueprint, communicating to the unseen forces that orchestrate life. Every thought, whether conscious or unconscious, leaves an imprint upon the invisible world, establishing a pattern that the outer world faithfully reproduces. It is not enough to hope for a change or to desire a better life. One must align the thoughts, words, and imagination with the reality one wishes to manifest. When dominant thoughts are disciplined and directed toward abundance, success, and joy, life reflects that focus in concrete form. Conversely, when thoughts dwell on fear, limitation, or scarcity, life mirrors those vibrations with equal accuracy. The power of imagination is one of the greatest tools a human being possesses, yet it is often misused or left dormant. Many allow imagination to serve fear rather than faith, constructing visions of failure, disappointment, or rejection. Every negative scenario entertained in the mind becomes a seed planted in the invisible realm, waiting to germinate and manifest as circumstance. Imagination, when employed with conscious intention, becomes a force for creating fortune, health, and opportunity. The person who consistently visualizes success, abundance, and the fulfillment of their desires establishes a clear blueprint for the universe to follow. The more vivid and detailed the inner vision, the stronger the magnetic pull of manifestation. Thoughts must be nurtured with feeling and conviction, for it is the emotional charge that gives power to the image and signals the universe that this reality is already accepted as true. Words, as extensions of thought, serve as bridges between the inner world and the outer manifestation. Every word spoken carries vibration, energy, and intent, and life responds to the words most consistently uttered. Those who speak of limitation, shortage, or impossibility create blocks in the flow of life, while those who affirm abundance, opportunity, and possibility attract experiences that correspond with their declarations. Words are more than communication tools. They are commands to the creative intelligence that orchestrates reality. The dominant words we use daily shape the environment around us, influencing events, relationships, and outcomes. To master life, one must master speech, carefully choosing words that reinforce the desired reality, avoiding expressions of fear, doubt, or negativity. Affirmations, prayers, and declarations are not mere rituals. They are powerful instruments of creation that instruct the invisible forces to bring forth the reality aligned with one's inner state. Dominant thoughts are not only those consciously entertained, but also the repeated patterns that occupy the mind subconsciously. Habits of thought, ingrained beliefs, and repeated mental images form a mental atmosphere that becomes the fertile ground for life's experiences. If one constantly dwells on limitation, disappointment, or unworthiness, life will mirror those patterns, presenting obstacles, delays, and frustration. Conversely, the mind that consistently entertains images of success, abundance, joy, and well-being becomes a fertile field for the manifestation of blessings. It is not the occasional thought or fleeting desire that shapes life, but the persistent, repeated patterns that dominate consciousness. Awareness of these dominant thoughts is the first step toward mastery, for only when the inner patterns are recognized can they be consciously aligned with the reality one wishes to create. Life responds to the emotional tone that underlies dominant thoughts. Thought without feeling is like a seed left unwatered; it cannot grow. Emotion gives life to the mental image, imbuing it with energy that signals the universe to manifest it in form. Joy, gratitude, faith, and expectation create high-vibration currents that attract favorable circumstances, while fear, doubt, and resentment create low-vibration currents that repel opportunity. It is therefore essential not only to cultivate positive images in the imagination, but also to imbue them with feeling and conviction. The combination of thought, imagination, and emotion forms a powerful triad that magnetizes experiences, rearranging circumstances in alignment with the inner state. Every aspect of life, from wealth to health to relationships, is influenced by the dominant thoughts and words held within the mind. Those who recognize this law realize that external circumstances are not the ultimate cause of success or failure. Rather, they are effects, reflections of the internal mental and emotional state. When challenges arise, they are not punishments, but signals, indications of misalignment between thought and desire. By observing these reflections, one can adjust dominant thoughts, correct inner beliefs, and recalibrate imagination to create a harmonious pattern that the outer world must follow. Life is not arbitrary. It is a precise mirror, a faithful reflection, and every individual is empowered to shape that reflection through conscious mastery of thought, word, and imagination. Imagination also serves as a laboratory for life. By mentally rehearsing desired outcomes, one creates an internal reality that guides decisions, actions, and attitudes in the physical world. The person who habitually imagines wealth, opportunity, and success begins to act in ways consistent with those images. Decisions are made from a place of assurance rather than fear. Actions are taken with confidence rather than hesitation. Habits, behaviors, and responses begin to reflect the internal vision, reinforcing the magnetic effect of dominant thoughts. This is the invisible science by which life conforms to expectation, producing tangible results in perfect correspondence with the inner blueprint. The inner dialogue of the mind also shapes the outer reality. Self-talk is a continuous stream of energy that communicates to the universe the beliefs held about oneself and the world. Phrases such as "I cannot," "I am unlucky," or "it will never work" create patterns that life inevitably mirrors. In contrast, phrases such as "I am open to abundance," "I am worthy of success," and "everything I need is already moving toward me" send precise instructions to the unseen forces, orchestrating events, relationships, and resources to align with the inner state. Mastery of the inner dialogue is therefore essential, for it is through repeated thoughts and words that dominant patterns are established, shaping the life experience with mathematical accuracy. Action itself becomes a reflection of dominant thought and imagination. The individual who envisions success and prosperity acts decisively, seizes opportunities, and pursues goals with persistence and confidence. Every act is informed by the inner vision, and every choice is aligned with the reality already imagined. Those who dwell in doubt, hesitation, or fear act inconsistently, miss opportunities, and unconsciously sabotage their own progress. Imagination, thought, and words therefore not only shape circumstances directly, but also guide action, ensuring that external behavior reinforces the desired outcome. In this way, life continuously mirrors the inner state in both circumstance and conduct, producing a consistent pattern of experience that corresponds to the dominant mental and emotional landscape. Many people search the world for a winning ticket, a secret code, or a circumstance that will transform their lives. Yet the truth is that the real winning ticket does not exist outside oneself. It exists within, in the invisible realm of thought, feeling, and conviction. Faith and affirmation are the tools by which this ticket is activated, the invisible keys that unlock the abundance, success, and joy already prepared for every individual. Those who look externally, who hope for luck to arrive from circumstance, miss the fundamental principle that every manifestation begins within. The universe responds not to desire alone, but to the inner certainty that what is sought is already on its way. Faith, then, is not a passive hope. It is an active, unwavering knowing that the unseen forces are already arranging conditions in perfect alignment with one's desires. Affirmation is the bridge between faith and manifestation. By consciously speaking, thinking, and declaring the good one seeks, one impresses the invisible world with the pattern of desired reality. Every word, spoken with conviction, is an energetic statement to the creative intelligence that governs life. Affirmations are not empty phrases. They are commands, declarations of law, and statements of power. When consistently repeated, they form an energetic blueprint that the universe must follow. The person who understands this law does not rely on chance, external signs, or temporary appearances. Instead, they hold a clear, unwavering inner picture of their good, speak it boldly, and act in harmony with it, knowing that the unseen world is already responding. Faith and affirmation work together to create an internal atmosphere in which abundance cannot fail to manifest. Faith alone, if passive or unexpressed, may remain dormant. Affirmation alone, if not backed by belief, may scatter energy rather than concentrate it. When combined, they form a magnetic current, a continuous flow of energy that draws opportunities, people, and resources into alignment with the inner state. Every act of faith, every declaration of affirmation, every mental image of success reinforces this current, expanding its reach and amplifying its power. The winning ticket is therefore not something found in the external world, but something cultivated in the mind, heart, and spirit, an inner possession that guarantees the manifestation of desired outcomes. Many fail to recognize their own internal winning ticket because they measure success by external appearances rather than inner conviction. They see the absence of immediate results and assume lack, doubt their own power, or resign themselves to the idea that luck or circumstance will determine their fate. In truth, abundance is never dependent on timing, chance, or external validation. It depends entirely upon the alignment of thought, word, and feeling. Those who hold faith and speak affirmations with confidence create a state of internal sufficiency, a sense that all is already theirs, and in this state, life cannot help but conform to the inner reality. The universe moves in perfect harmony with certainty, bringing people, circumstances, and opportunities into exact correspondence with the inner declaration. Affirmations must be precise, consistent, and emotionally charged. They are most effective when they are spoken in the present tense, as though the desired good already exists, and with feeling that conveys acceptance rather than longing. The law of life does not respond to petitions, hesitation, or doubt. It responds to conviction and certainty. When one affirms, "I am worthy of unlimited abundance," or "every day I am guided to perfect opportunities for prosperity." These words impress the unseen realm with an unshakable pattern, calling forth circumstances that mirror the inner declaration. Affirmation is the conscious cultivation of the winning ticket, a practice that reinforces faith, concentrates mental energy, and aligns the individual with the natural flow of abundance. Faith, in its highest form, is absolute trust in the unseen intelligence that governs life. It is a knowing that every desire, every need, and every good that is aligned with divine principles is already moving toward manifestation, even if the evidence is not yet visible. This trust eliminates worry, fear, and hesitation, which are the barriers to manifestation. The person who embodies faith does not scramble for results, does not panic at delays, and does not allow circumstances to dictate belief. Instead, they maintain a steady, unwavering inner focus, confident that the invisible law is at work. Every thought, word, and action becomes an instrument in the orchestration of their desires, and the winning ticket within is thereby activated to attract everything needed for its fulfillment. One of the greatest challenges is overcoming the influence of doubt and external appearances. The world constantly presents evidence that seems to contradict faith, delays, setbacks, obstacles, and apparent lack. Yet the inner winning ticket is impervious to these outer signs, for it is founded upon certainty rather than appearance. By holding firm to faith and repeating affirmations, the individual maintains a vibrational alignment that cannot be shaken by circumstance. Life responds not to what is seen, but to what is believed, and the inner conviction is the signal that orchestrates the outer reality. The person who understands this principle moves through life with calm assurance, secure in the knowledge that everything they need, desire, or seek is already on its way, responding to the energetic pattern of their thoughts and words. Visualization enhances the power of faith and affirmation by creating vivid mental images of the desired good. When the mind repeatedly sees the desired outcome as real, feels it as already accomplished, and reinforces it with affirmations, the invisible forces respond with exactitude. Visualization is the practice of impressing the unseen world with a detailed blueprint of success, prosperity, and fulfillment. By holding this mental image with unwavering faith, the individual activates the winning ticket within, ensuring that circumstances and opportunities are drawn into alignment with the inner vision. Every repetition, every mental rehearsal, every spoken declaration reinforces the internal state, amplifying the magnetic effect that attracts life's good. The real winning ticket is therefore a combination of belief, faith, affirmation, and imagination. It is not something purchased or discovered externally. It is cultivated internally. It requires consistency, clarity, and emotional engagement. Those who hold it do not rely on chance, luck, or the opinions of others. They operate from a place of inner authority, knowing that the creative intelligence of the universe responds to the patterns impressed upon it by thought and word. Every opportunity, every resource, every manifestation is drawn to the individual as a natural consequence of this internal alignment. In this way, life becomes an exact reflection of faith and affirmation, and the inner winning ticket ensures that abundance, success, and joy are not dependent on circumstance, but are inevitable expressions of the inner state.